Oh man, I sometimes these journos, these sites, they just make me laugh, and I see articles that are written that are just literally littered with garbage. There are no real journalists left really in the business. I mean, there are few on there. I mentioned people like Tim Pool, who happens to be very good. No matter how you feel about him, he happens to be very good in what he does. Day in, day out. There's a couple of others out there that are on there. Vincent James over at Red Elephants. A couple of side people here and there. We could go in and out every day talking about, news and stuff like that. And you see companies like Newsmax and One America News, they're coming up on there. When you see, one of the last greats, Fox, starting to fall. It's starting to fall because basically, people got in their minds that, if you hate a particular person and stuff like that, you have to just flex out. And just write articles and all that, and it's just clickbait for everyone to read and all that. Don't realize that there's real news out there. Thanks for tuning in. Zane here, Man with the show. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing. Hit that notification bell. We haven't had that many movies this year. Most of the stuff has gone to streaming. We talked about the issues with HBO Max, what's coming forward with that. The lawsuits are coming. Normally at the end of the year, you have people start to brag upon, because the Oscar season is coming up. The ridiculous thing that they want to put cuties on the Oscars list, which is ridiculous. That's another story in itself. But you get a lot of people says, well, that was the best grossing movie of all, of the year. Some people can taunt that, and they can say, yeah, they were. It was a particular, of a comedy or action film or some holiday film to that nature, even though there's still a couple films still coming out toward the next 3 weeks that are left of the year. And then you get this journal that comes out, we got this covered, which, sometimes I do press on there because once in a blue, they'll have something that is interesting that comes out and it's written okay, not the greatest, and it's something that you had to think of that if the issues are true, we have to talk about it. But in this case, this is something that is just ridiculous. Why an article like this was written? Because this is something just trying to prop up a movie that was just full of just SJW woke, Twitter Puritan, cancel culture type of movie. And we're talking about the Birds of Prey movie with Harley Quinn, which I think the name was changed twice just to try to just get people to come watch it. And the movie itself was garbage. It was just totally ridiculously garbage. And this came out and it says, the Birds of Prey fans celebrate it possibly becoming the highest grossing comic book movie of 2020. Okay, you may say that, even though Wonder Woman hasn't come out yet and probably might not make a lot of money, but let's take a look at this situation. And you may say to yourself, oh, okay, Zane, not too many movies came out. And we'll look at it from this perspective of how much it made. Okay. And and the fantastic anticipation of one Harley Quinn. They keep changing the name of it. Every time I see a different name, This is out of Box Office Mojo, which is by IMDb. And they basically track and tally all the theaters around the world, basically domestic, international, and they tally all the numbers down to the penny. Domestically, and we had it in over 4,000 theaters. And this is by Warner Brothers, which financially strapped, and what's been going on with them. 84,158,461. Internationally, 117,700,000, which gives it a final tally of 201,858,000 And that's current. That's current to date toward when this was recorded, and that was on the 8th of December when we recorded this. It was released about 305 days ago, 43 weeks ago, and it's okay. It's okay. I don't think they made that they went into the black on this one. I think they're in the red, because basically when you look at this situation, if we've gone this many weeks and they've gotten to this level and you haven't recouped your advertising costs and all the other initial costs of the movie, basically you're not, financially in the black. You're still in the red. So it becomes a movie that was not financially profitable. And, I tell these people on many different movies, and they look at it, oh, it did 400 million. I say, yeah, did they recoup their losses? No, they didn't. They didn't. So, you may ask yourself, well, there were no other comic book movies this year other than the Wonder Woman movie that's coming out. Well, you're wrong. And I'll tell you, there was another comic book movie. In the case of Sonic the Hedgehog. And you'll say, whoa, Zane, hold the phone. No, back that truck. Pull that lever on that brake. What in the name of all almighty are you saying that Sonic the Hedgehog is a video game movie? Yeah, it is a video game movie. But did you know that Sonic the Hedgehog, back in its inception, was a comic as well? See, the one thing is, when Sonic the Hedgehog was created, it basically, you had the game, it was part of another game and part of comics and stuff like that. It had an Archie comic, which basically the publication was in the 90s. And it had its own comic, premiering issues. It ran for quite some time. Actually, the publication finished up in 2016. And it was part of the Archie Comics insignia. And it had a cartoon series and many different on there. Getting to the numbers, 146 million domestic, 174 million internationally. Grand total of 320 million, 298 days, 42 weeks in the theaters, which it had about 4,100 versus Birds of Prey, 4,200. And you may say to yourself, hey, Zane, no, come on. It is a game. It was a game made into a movie. Okay, all right. I'll give you that. Okay? Now you're saying to yourself, wait a minute, Zane, you're giving up too soon. What hand do you have? You're giving us a poker face. I said, yeah, I am. There's another reason. And this is something that's going on currently. Now, you're familiar with mangas. And you'll say to yourself, oh, yeah, mangas. Mangas are comics. Technically, yeah, mangas, yeah, you could say, because they're the comic book industry. And, they've been popular. Currently, right now, there is a movie that's sweeping across Asia. And it has surpassed in 53 days, which took Birds of Prey 305 days. That movie is current released, still theaters, and in one country alone, one country has beat out Birds of Prey. That movie is Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, based on a comic or manga, as you want to say, opened at $31 million. So Zane, that's not close to that. Yep, yeah, that's right. It's not. Current worldwide numbers. 267,372 in the box office, which 313 of it was in the country of Japan alone, in their domestic sense. We haven't seen it here yet because the theaters have been shut down. No one has bought it to over here, but eventually you probably will see this probably early January. Something will be probably released for a little bit before it hits these streaming sites, because this is coming to streaming very soon. So you had a movie based on a manga, which is doing fantastic. The manga is doing fantastic. The series is doing fantastic. I know there's another season probably coming of this. And you had the movie. The movie is doing phenomenal money. This is as of the 8th. 53 days, 7 weeks, 267 million. Birds of Prey, 201 million in 305 days worldwide. So I got to ask yourself again, going back to the article. We got this cover, Scott Campbell. Birds of Prey celebrate it possibly the highest grossing comic film. No, it is not. This is political jargon to try to prop up a movie that wasn't popular with the fans. And you may say, well, it was the male fans that didn't like it. No, it was both male and female. Females wanted, a good Harley Quinn movie. They're popular with Harley Quinn. I myself like the Harley Quinn character. The Birds of Prey fans, on both sides, did not like it because it was terribly made. The villains were nothing. I mean, you had Black Mask in there, whichever villain that was. You kind of expected the Joker to be in this, really. That he would be the main focus of this. That Harley would be getting revenge on him and stuff like that. No, it turned into, let's bash on the men throughout the whole entire movie. And that's what it was. It was just an SJW, cancel culture, Puritan Twitter, Reddit Puritan movie to just hit up on men. Just to bash them, put them down on there. And that's what this movie was. Not a comic book movie, just a political rhetoric movie. Don't ask me. Midnight's Edge, Toxic Femininity this week. This is the episode that ran this week. Ask the ladies over there how they felt about Birds of Prey, and they'll give you the same answer I just did. For the reason is you got to stop making movies of this nature. Now, here's the difference between Sonic and Birds of Prey. Both movies were problematic. Sonic the Hedgehog producers went back and fixed what was wrong. Still wasn't a great movie, but it was better than the original concept. They heard the fans. They saw how Sonic was made as far as animated. They saw it was terrible. They went back, took extra time, delayed the movie, and reanimated Sonic accordingly. See, this is what you get. And you made money. Now, I don't consider it a win-win, but they got closer to their budget. They may have lost in the advertisement sense, but they still made something. Whereas Birds of Prey was a bigger budgeted movie and was a loss. So you can't say you're successful if you were a loss. And you had not 1, 2, and maybe 3 films, and there's a possibility it might be a 4th. There's another anime out there that basically is starting to move up a bit, even though it's been out for a while. But it may end up surpassing the 200 million mark, possibly. But like I said, you have 3 possibilities, because Wonder Woman also as well. You have the other 2 are comic book movies and had surpassed the Birds of Prey movie. So You know, like I said, this is the funny things with these journalists, whether it's gamer journalists, anime journalists, comic book journalists, movie journalists. They talk out of their other end just to get clicks. This is why people don't trust a lot of these journals, for this reason. The rhetoric, the politics of everything that's thrown in there. It's funny. It's always funny when these situations come forward and they start to throw these stories out. And it's the same thing with Cyberpunk 2077 this week. How everybody's upset, you know, there's so much on there, and they're trying to review this, they review bomb and all this. Let the game come out. You know, let the game come out, then you can criticize as much as you want. Let them put the patches in. It's something that they worked for many, many years. In the case of this, don't tout yourself until you get your facts right. Look up your facts before you do your fact check. And this is the other problem in there. They don't have fact checkers anymore. Basically, these guys do the work of themselves. They kind of cheapen the whole situation. There used to be fact checkers. There used to be fact checkers in the New York Times. All these other journals. These smaller companies like this that have built up, like Vice and all that. And you hear this from Tim Pool, and you hear this from other reputable journals. That basically the journalism aspect is not the same as it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, where people did their job to research everything. Now we got people in between that they call so-called fact checkers, and even the fact checkers are wrong. And then you have the social media trying to fact check themselves, and they use articles of people who have incorrectly fact-checked or put articles up and claiming those are correct factual events. Not to get into this current election, but hey, look, you see what's going on. So comment below, tell me, how are you feeling about this? Is this crazy or what? You have two other movies that are grossed heavy and that are considered comic book movies, even though one's a gaming / comic book movie. It's done more money than this. And then you have another one that just grossed more of it in one country alone. So let me know in the comments below. Subscribe, like, hit that notification bell, and share this video. Stay tuned for the little message at the end of this. The holidays are coming up. We're well into the season. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. And we got more info coming out, more shows coming out. And we'll be back with more of it very soon. Thank you again. And we'll be back on just in no time. With the holidays well underway, you might be looking for that special gift. Check out our merch store at teespring.com, where we have the new winter gear out. From the Madman Cafe to Madman with the Show. Shirts, hoodies, mugs, and even pillows. Starting on December 2nd, use the promo code XMASCafe to get an additional 15% off till December 24th. All proceeds go to help this channel. That's teespring.com/shopq2cast.